everyone, welcome back to Kevin Reviews. I just finished rewatching Die Hard. This is by 20th Century Fox Studios nowadays, by Gordon Company Silver Pictures. This is directed by John McTiernan, who has done Die Hard with a Vengeance, Hunt for Red October, and Predator, as well as others like Basic, some of the lesser known ones or less popular ones like Basic. That I actually have in my library. This is based on a 1979 novel by Roderick Thorp, who called "Nothing Lasts Forever." And I have not read the book, and I don't have any information on it. But just so you know, if you want to check it out and read it, there it is. "Nothing Lasts Forever" is the title by Roderick Thorp. And the casting. This is also written by Jeb Stuart and Stephen E. D'Souza. Cast includes Bruce Willis, Alan Rickman, Bonnie Bedelia, Reginald Vel Hohnson, and Paul Gleason. So, what can I say about Die Hard? It is considered one of the most action-packed classic classic films in the 80s. That if you asked anybody what the best action film is, I mean, I'm sure it varies, but for many people that they would point to Die Hard because that is considered a classic. It's considered an action-packed classic for a reason. Um, and but frankly, it's gotten the reputation nowadays as whether or not it's a Christmas movie. I'll get into it a bit, but it obviously there's a lot of debate every year. People like to, debate whether or not the film is Christmas film. Um, Even Bruce Willis himself says it's not a Christmas film, though for all I know, he could be joking. I'm not 100% certain. Um, it's hard to tell. And also speaking of Bruce Willis, it is a joy to see him in here. It's sad that he had to retire because was diagnosed with aphasia and dementia. There's a specific type of dementia. I don't remember what it's called, but yeah, it's sad to see him retire, but understandable if he needed to do that. But he gave one of the best action packed movies of the 80s, and has been a staple in movie history. So there's something to appreciate and love about the film as a whole. So the thing is, with nowadays, with every action film. I mean, nowadays we're kind of more into superhero films. We do like some action films like John Wick. Um, you know, more martial arts or gunplay or whatever. Um, so, and granted, I think newer generations would probably see Die Hard as just not as strong, or as an action. Maybe they want more action or martial arts or something. But Die Hard is still that in a way, but it's not like today, for real, for if we're being serious. I mean, in a way, I guess you could argue it hasn't aged as gracefully, but it there's still a lot that to very appreciate this film. So maybe I should just go into my review. Here's my review of Die Hard. So the story goes in Die Hard. I think many people already know what Die Hard's about. John McClane played by Bruce Willis, is a New York City cop who who travels to California, Los Angeles, California, to meet his estranged wife. Not sure if that's the right word, but he's married to Holly Gennaro or McClane, played by Bonnie Bedelia, and there seems to be disconnect, or they're like in divorce or something like that. It's not exactly clear, but there obviously is tension between them. But so he goes to New York. No, he goes to California, Los Angeles, California, to see Holly, meet the kids, see his kids because it's Christmas time. And he goes to the Nakatomi building where Holly works. Unfortunately, the building is taken over by terrorists led by Hans Gruber, and that is played by Alan Rickman. So he takes hostages. That's Tally, messing things up. Um, so Hans Gruber takes hostages, and unfortunately, he did not get John McClane. So John McClane now is a one-man army, based sort of. He doesn't have a lot to work with except for his gun that he carries around as a police officer, and he tries to take down the terrorists. With some, and he doesn't have a lot of help, unfortunately. With only the thing he can talk to is Sergeant Al Powell by Reginald Vel Hohnson. So that's the story basically. Is that John McClane is trying to stop the terrorists and whatnot, and save his wife. So I I have a hard time trying to figure out whether I should start with. Should I talk about the movie first, or should I talk about the fact of what this movie has been nowadays, and that is whether or not it's a Christmas movie a or not. Is it a Christmas movie or not? Um, you know, so do I really like this? Do I like this film? Yes, I really love this film. I watch it. I try to watch it every year, even during Christmas, which probably gives the reason why you probably think I think it's a Christmas movie. In a way, yes, but I would say it's not. It's not a traditional Christmas movie. It's nothing like Elf. It's nothing like um, the Santa Claus. It's nothing like Charlie Brown Christmas. It's the specials. It's not How the Grinch Stole Christmas. It's nothing like that. It's this is and granted, it doesn't quite focus on Christmas that much, except it has references. Still has plenty of references. There's still characters who, sing "Ode to Joy," say, quote "Twas the night before Christmas." Um, there's that famous moment where, uh, John McClane has a dead body, puts a dead body in the elevator, and on the sweatshirt or whatever it says, "I have a machine gun, ho ho ho." I probably give that a little away, but yeah, there's those references. So, um, I yeah, it's not a traditional Christmas movie. It's yeah, it's not a traditional Christmas movie, and I don't think people care, and people maybe want it to be. I mean, granted, we have Christmas movies in the past that went darker routes. I mean, Black Christmas for one, Silent Night, Deadly Night. I even remember seeing Santa's Sleigh with SLAY with Bill Goldberg at one point, where it's much darker, more horror related. Sometimes action packed, at times Violent Nights, and is one that came years later. And I think that's the thing. I don't really know when Die Hard was debated whether or not it was a Christmas movie, but it kind of, I think because of the internet, it's it's been talked about more. It's been debated why it is a Christmas movie or not. Um, so and even I mentioned Bruce Willis said it's not a Christmas movie, and I don't know exactly if I take that seriously, if he's really serious. He was really serious at the time, so I don't know, but I think people nowadays, with how society feels about kind of Christmas movies, it's I think they want more challenging Christmas movies. I mean, we still like the traditional Christmas movies. They're not awful. There's not very many of them, because I mean, we've gone through the whole story again about the whole saving Christmas, the believing is seen is believing. That whole route. Sometimes it just feels very formulaic with the holiday of Christmas. Whereas, I mean, with Halloween, you can do a horror movie, and it just kind of works any day of the week. And that's what Die Hard is. I think it's not a Christmas movie. It's not exactly a traditional Christmas movie, but I think we want it to be, because I don't know, it gives us that excuse to say, I could watch this every year. I could watch any time, but I feel like there's something special where it makes like the lines and the dialogue and what they say just as funny as when they say it, and it's just a memorable way of how you know how we see it in Christmas during Christmas, and even funny. So I mean, it's even like the Christmas songs, especially. We have the Jingle Bells, which I hear been a controversial bit nowadays. But um, let's see, I frankly, I think rocking around the Christmas tree, Santa Claus is coming to town, those traditional ones, and then we kind of got those earworms or those more annoying songs like "All I Want for Christmas Is You," um, Santa Baby, and that one really gets under my skin, unfortunately. And yeah, so but it's like we're kind of tired of the same Christmas music, and there's not really like a lot. There's like different variations different covers by different artists, and I don't know. I don't know. I don't think we're exactly tired of it, but I guess maybe in my point of view, I am tired of it because there doesn't seem to be anything new, or the songs are just not as good as it once was, or in my opinion. Um, and frankly, if there was a song I had to pick today that represented kind of modern Christmas, how people, modern Christmases like today, I would suggest watching Dropkick Murphys' "The Seasons Upon Us" because that's my favorite one. It's it is Christmassy. It doesn't follow that same norm, but it's it's funny, and and it sounds good, and I just love it. But check it out. So again, I'm getting off topic, but yeah, I think nowadays it seems like we've moved from we're kind of wanting stuff that isn't traditional, that does isn't the traditional Christmas movie to be our Christmas movie. Even some people want to watch Frozen during the holidays because it is takes place in winter, even though there's nothing Christmassy about it. So I don't know. I think it just provides a pretty good excuse to just say heck with it. I want to watch something different, and if you want to watch Die Hard during the Christmas time, if you want to watch it on Christmas Day, there you go. It's there. It's more memorable that way. So that's my thought on, I guess, whether or not it's a Christmas movie. I guess in a way I'm saying yes, I say it's a Christmas movie. I just saying I don't it's not a traditional Christmas movie. So it is a Christmas movie, just not a traditional one. And so yeah. And I mean, we had other later movies like Violent Night, especially, that's really bloody, more gory, much like that's pays homage to to Die Hard in a way. I mean, we even have Krampus, that horror film, um, and we sometimes love that. But yeah, I think sometimes we kind of like going for darker, more challenging type Christmas type films. I think, but not everyone's, and that's totally understandable. So, but yeah, those are my thoughts regarding whether or not I think this is a Christmas movie. And that's just my opinion, but it's totally fine if you think either way. So no debate on that. So in any case, I should probably get into my review, my real thoughts and review on Die Hard. So yes, I really love this movie. It's still great. I have seen it many times to the point where it's like I have even when I rewatched, I even play with my phone because I know what happens. It's still a really great movie. Maybe it's just because I've seen it so many times, and watching on my own, even though it's something I have to do, you know, I think it's probably more fun to watch it with an audience, I think, but what are you going to do? So yeah, I'm sorry if I know I said I play with my phone when I'm watching movies, but I don't know. It gets to that point. It gets to that point. I still really love this movie, regardless. I've seen it so many times. I watch this one every year. Um, the characters are great. Bruce Willis is John McClane. Holly Gennaro is really great. They're likable. They're 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 witty. They have great lines. The writing in this is especially great and memorable and quotable. the yippee ki mother effer is still well loved. You got great shots that is like, you have John McClane in an event, and it's like, come out to the kiss, we have a good laughs or something like that. I can't. I know I butchered that quote, but yes, it is very. These are very memorable scenes. Even Hans Gruber, played by Alan Rickman. I mean, this is before he played Professor Snape. And do not ask me about Harry Potter because I have not seen all the Harry Potter movies. I don't know if I necessarily want to see all the Harry Potter movies. Um, there's a reason for that, but suffice to say, pass it on. Maybe I'll try again, or maybe in a separate video I'll kind of explain why I'm not doing Harry. I may not do Harry Potter. So I don't know. But the writing, the Alan Rickman is fun. He's cold, calculating, but sometimes has a little bit of fun um, with messing with the other characters. He easily you can hate this man, but love just how he seems to just enjoy what he does, despite him getting angry that John McClane is just messing things up in his plans basically. And there's certainly fun with that. the The premise is great. I mean, they could have had a Marine, they could have had you know any kind of soldier, any kind of big Arnold Schwarzenegger, big time action hero. But no, they went for Bruce Willis. And I think before that he didn't do that many action films. So this was like maybe his first acting role. I could be wrong. And he knocks it out of the park because he plays a cop that he's been a cop for 11 years. We don't know exactly how he does as a cop back in New York, but it's like I think we see when we see him trying to get through this, he obviously it's almost like out of his element. It's a survival, and it's like that's it's interesting because I think in a way we connect with John McClane. We may not have the training as a cop, but he's an ordinary man who has to go above and beyond to basically try to survive with nothing but his own gun and his wits and whatever his training. And we do everything we can to basically get what we want, try to get the job done or try to survive. Even moments where even when everyone seems to be against him. I mean, we kind of root for John McClane, and we just like hate everyone else who just don't listen to him because he's trying to help, and they just say, go away, or well, the word is f off, But yeah, people, you know, it's satisfying how he just comes back and just with lines, you know, just to basically stick it to them who just completely wronged him in every way, and it's wonderful to see. The comedy is also great with the line delivery. I mean, the yippee ki mother effer is definitely one of them, and because Hans Gruber thinks he's a cowboy. He's just a cowboy, just whatever. So it makes sense. So he has plenty of quips, and he talks to himself. When he's fighting bad guys, he's just kind of like, "I'm gonna cook you and eat you." Just like he just basically rams their head in the bars. He tries to choke them, just shouting all kinds of stuff. It's just I don't know. I think we would do that. I think in some way we would do that because it shows how angry we are, and we just you know how we would approach a fight like this. Um, I think in a way, but it's entertaining. But in a way, we kind of relate to him more as just an ordinary man with cop train who has police training. In a way that's kind of even surpass like Arnold Schwarzenegger and say Commando um, or Rambo, or in First Blood, or John Wick, who's very well trained and can get out of every situation. So I don't know. It's just it feels like it's the underdog story, and everyone loves underdog stories. So And granted, some of the films I listed off are underdog stories too, but I think this is like a true underdog story as a whole. That's my thoughts anyway. Sorry, I'm kind of hiccuping and burping a little bit. So yeah, what about the other characters? Um, I mentioned Holly Gennaro's the Holly Gennaro played by uh, I forget her name all the time. I'm not good with remembering names. That's why um, I have to boot up my computer my screen here by Bonnie Bedelia. Sorry, is great and has like the similar attitude to John McClane. Uh, Reginald Vel Johnson or Hohnson. I don't. Maybe I maybe I butchered the name up for, but of course we know him most famous for his role in Family Matters. Um, I It's been a long time since I've seen it, um, but he's often typecast as a police officer. So I don't know if it's just fitting for him, his character. If he had hoped to move away from the cop position, I'm sure he tried a couple times. That's my computer. Sorry. Um, but in any case, yeah, he's pretty much he's. I think nowadays we kind of consider him a typecast as a police officer, basically. Um, what about other characters? I mean, we also have Paul Gleason as Dwayne T. Robinson, who's just kind of an idiot. But I think it's we love this idiot because it's just a great way for him to fail and for John McClane to just tell him off. He had even had one great line. He tells Dwayne about one thing he tried to do. So I don't know. There's just a lot to like. It's shot well. A great moment where involving Hans Gruber's death. And yes, I may give that away, but this is an action film for a protagonist, so we all know. Um, in any case, his death is satisfying, especially when you realize that when they planned his death, he didn't know about it, and they got the actual look in fear in his eyes when they did it when they did it to him. And I feel bad for Alan Rickman, but at the same time, it's perfect. It's just perfect. Again, shot well, the lighting's well. I'm sorry. I don't know what else to say. I mean, it's. I think most people just say, "What's so great about Die Hard?" It's like it's Die Hard. It's that fun of an action film. Is there anything wrong with it? I don't know. Again, I think nowadays it's from its age. Well, I think it aged really gracefully. I guess technology wise, it doesn't quite as hold up as well. But I think that's in a way that makes it timeless. So I would give Die Hard 5 stars. So what are your thoughts on Die Hard? Leave it in the comments below. Like or just dislike the review if you wish, and feel free to subscribe to my channel. And I will see you guys in the next review. Bye.